anywhere from 4 to 6 months, and to say it's not the easiest thing to get back into the water. In a lot of pain, I have trouble walking out the steps. I pretty much just fall into bed. It takes me longer to get out of bed now because my muscles are sore. I won't be back in the shape that I was at the Olympics probably until the beginning of this year, or beginning of next year. So it'll take me that long to get back into it. And you know, that's another sacrifice I have to make. You know, if I really want to do it, then I'm going to do it. And I actually chose about 4 weeks ago on Sunday that I am going to go another 4 years, and you know, I'm going to keep going. And I think that it was weird, because 4 weeks ago on Sunday, I remember literally getting out of bed and just looking around, and I live right on the water in Baltimore. I remember looking outside and I was like, what am I thinking? Like, why am I even questioning not getting back in the water? And it was literally night and day. The day before, I was just like, yeah, you know, I'll do whatever. Maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do this for the next 4 years. And I woke up the next day and was like, I'm going. I'm going to go another 4 years. And you know, it took a lot of time for me to think about what I wanted to do, because I wanted to make sure that I still had passion for it, and that I was the one making the decision whether I was going to continue or not. I wasn't going to let anybody else make that decision but me. And I immediately called, you know, a handful of the closest people that are surrounding me, my family and friends, and you know, I called them the next day, that Sunday, and I said, are you ready? And every single one of them said, yes, let's go. And I said, all right, we got 4 years. So I'm in training right now, and hopefully we'll be there in 4 years.
Go win more medals. Well, you're obviously an amazing competitor, but you're not just driven by winning gold. In Athens 2004, you swam the 200 freestyle, even though it wasn't your best event, and it was the best event of Australian Ian Thorpe. You said that you swam that particular race so that you could compete against the best. And you won bronze to Thorpe's gold. Talk about that.
You know, I think for me, I want to be the best that I can be. Whether that's racing the best, you know, I may not be a favorite in the event, but if I can get up there and race them and make it a race, or you know, be in the race, then like, you know, after the race, I can tell different things that I need to do to be able to do better the next race. And you know, coming in third, yeah, I was disappointed. I mean, it's like 0.6 of a second, or you know, it was less than a second away from Thorpe. So, you know, after that, I sort of use that as motivation. You know, for me, if I fail in the pool, or if I don't get as far as I want to go in the pool, I'll use that as the biggest motivation you can find. Because I hate to lose in anything that I do. I can't stand it. And, you know, I think another thing about Thorpe was, I guess, leading into the 08 games, he, I'm sure, I don't know if you guys may have seen the quote, it's impossible, or no one will ever win 8 golds. It's not doable. Nobody can do it.
You did it, man!
And I actually, every day in Michigan, you know, there are little hooks in little lockers, and Bob handed me the paper, and I just smacked it on the back tab, like on the back of my locker, just put it right there. And his quote was highlighted. So every single day I came into the pool, I saw that quote. And I was like, you know what, if somebody says something to me or about me that I don't really like, then that's gonna motivate me and fire me up even more. And that's all that did. That didn't, you know, disappoint me, didn't upset me. I mean, I guess it did upset me because it fired me up a little bit more, but I welcome comments like that, and there's already some talk from one of the other Australians who is saying if I swim the 100 free, that I'll be swimming with the big boys. So that's another little bit of motivation that I will be using over the next few years to, I guess, try and swim with the big boys. So it's the little things like that that motivate me more than anything, and my coach knows that. And some days he'll say something to fire me up in a workout, and it'll make me mad. And if I swim mad, or sort of fired up, I'll swim faster. So he likes to use that as a little bit of motivation for me when I'm tired or not in the best mood.
That you won gold and you broke Thorpe's world record in that event in 2007, World Champions in Melbourne. And Thorpe was in the grandstands. And then you won gold again and lowered your world record in Beijing this summer. Feel good?
It did. It would have been better if he was in the race next to me, but I'll take it. You know, that was one of the cool things about that race in Melbourne was it was in his home country, and man, that was that, and also the 800 free relay. We finally broke that world record, took that away from Australia, and that is now in our possession in the U.S. And
some people say that success can breed complacency, or that success can be your enemy. With 6 golds in Athens, 8 more in Beijing, how do you stay motivated for London in 4 years?
That was something that I actually thought a lot about before I got back into the water every day and started training really for London. There's still a lot of things that I want to accomplish. To be honest, there were a few times that I didn't accomplish in Beijing that I wanted to. Yeah, swam was the best that I could there, and I'm not at all disappointed, but there's still more that I want. You know, whether it's, you know, I'll take the 200 fly as an example where my goggles filled up with water and I couldn't see anything pretty much the whole race. Yes, I did the best time, and yes, I did win gold, but I mean, after looking back at that race, I still see frustration on my face, and I still remember that moment as soon as I hit the wall. I took my goggles off and flung them over my head, and remember sitting there and saying, I should have been faster. And at that point, there was nothing I could do. What am I supposed to do? Just stop in the middle of the race and get another pair of goggles? You know, a malfunction that happened with my goggles, and I had to swim through it and I had to fight through it. So that's one thing that I was disappointed at. But I mean, there are still things that I want to do outside of the pool as well. A lot of people look at the sport of swimming as an every 4-year sport, and it's starting to promote itself. You know, swimming's starting to become a larger sport, become an everyday sport, an every year sport. And I know this summer, you guys will be able to watch us in Rome when we're competing at World Championships, because NBC has picked that up. So that's one thing that's moving in the right direction for us, and something we're very happy about. But there are just so many more things that I want to do and want to accomplish, and I've written it down on a piece of paper, and Bob has a piece of paper, so the famous goal sheet is in Bob's hands once again, and we have 4 years to be able to accomplish that. So that's what we're shooting for.
Widely accepted as the greatest swimmer of all time. What do you feel separates good athletes from the best athletes?
I think it comes back to what I was saying earlier about, I mean, I think a lot of it is mental. You know, if you want to do something and you want it that bad, you'll make sacrifices. And you know, growing up for me as a kid, I made a lot of sacrifices that I didn't seem that they were a big deal, and I don't think of them as being a big deal right now. You know, there were Saturdays or Fridays where I'd give up going to a dance or hanging out with my friends because I had workout the next day. But those things that I gave up, you know, were things that I wanted to help me get to my goal. And there were times where I've been put in uncomfortable situations, but I've used my mental power, my mental strength to push through it. And I think that's how you can look at any of the athletes in the world. I mean, Tiger, the guy has a busted knee and still comes and destroys the rest of the field. You know, that's the thing. It's like people don't make excuses.